Good morning, guys. I am What I Nerdy from the Nerd Titan TV. Today I'm going to talk about audio filters. It is just something that I've noticed around the board. A lot of new streamers just don't understand audio filters at all. So I'm going to go through each one like a little bit and talk about the order and what they are and how they work. There's going to be a few of them. It's going to be a really quick video. If you like this content, please like, comment, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. I hope to be able to do more videos like this in the time being. Things have just been stressed. If you want to check me out over on Twitch, it's One Eyed Nerdy, as well as all the links down the bottom. So we're going to talk a little bit about like audio order, why it matters. If you look at my screen, I have them in the order that I prefer them to be in. We're going to start off with noise suppression, then noise gate, or you can go into expander, and I'll go into that a little later on. Gain, compressor, and then limiter. Why does the order really matter? OBS applies filters top to bottom. It's like an assembly line. Each filter only hears what the filter above it already did to the sound. It doesn't know what the original signal was. So I like to start off with noise suppression. This just cuts off things like fan hum, AC hiss, general room tone. It really doesn't do much to the audio in general. It really just does it. So there's two options in noise suppression. You can do RNN noise, which is like really good quality. It does use a bit of CPU usage. But if you're having issues and you have a low end computer, I would go over to Speaks. It is a low CPU usage. You could just set the noise level to about negative 30 decibel. That's dB decibel. I've been using our RN noise for years now. I haven't had really any issue at all with it. The next one is going to be noise gate. So that really cuts off anything when you're not talking. It's a rough cut. So like when I'm not talking, and then I am talking, you guys aren't hearing anything going on in the background, like my fan going, my AC going, and stuff like that. Especially noise gate is really great if you live in a noisy area. You got a fan going, you got the AC going, you got cars outside, you got the long guys outside. You know what I mean? Like if you live in an apartment or a busy neighborhood, highway stuff, it's really great. The next one is optional. It's expander. You use it instead of noise gate. When it cuts, it softens the edges a little bit. So it's not just a straight cut. Expander has a little bit more tweaking on it. I prefer either or. If you're just starting out and you're just like dabbling with these settings, I would go with noise gate just because it's such an easier one to understand. I have mine set to 48 for the threshold, so that's when it cuts, when it closes, like so nothing below uh below that can cut, and then it opens up at negative 36. This is just the attack time, hold time, and release. Just keep them as the default. Again, all these settings are based on what you want to do. And just remember that noise gate is really a fully hard on off switch. Expander doesn't really fully mute. It just turns down the volume of your background. So that's another one. So gain is just gain. It's turning the volume up. It's really simple. It's probably the simplest one here. I like the plus 40 it 4 decibels up because I want to make sure the next thing in the chain, which is compressor, has something to compress. So we've noise gated, we've noise suppressioned, and now we're turning that volume up just by 4 to 6 decibels, usually where I like to be. Because if you don't do it, or if you do too little, the compressor won't compress anything. And I will go more a little bit into compressor in a few minutes. It's one of the most confusing. That's why I like to leave it to the last. Compressor tends to confuse people, and that's why I'm trying to do a simple version of it. It's something that rides your volume for you automatically. When you get loud, it pulls you down. When you get quiet, it doesn't let you drop too far. This helps because most people don't keep a perfectly consistent distance from their mic. I do. Perfectly even speaking volume. You lean back, you get animated, you turn your head, compressor smooths you out automatically instead of leaving the listener to adjust the volume on its own. This is kind of one of my favorite ones because while I like the 6-inch distance because I have a dynamic microphone, not everyone does that, and so we have to have this in here. These settings in here. I prefer a 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 ratio. With a threshold around negative 18 decibels. You want your level smoothed out but not flattened. Again, go through these settings and play with them a little bit. You know what I mean? You find out what you like, what you don't like. Hit record on your in your OBS. Record yourself saying like, "Thank you so much for the raid," blah 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 blah, and then you guys can go. You can adjust it that way. That's the way I test my audio. I never test my audio live, guys. And then a limiter is really, that's what it does. A limiter sets a hard ceiling. So if you get loud, it just cuts you off. Is so you don't peak with permanent distortion, clipping, so forth. Once that happens, it just sounds bad. You know what I mean? So I have my limiter set to -10 decibels, which is right in the red in OBS. So if you look over in my OBS, you'll see that little red spikiness that pops up, like when you're talking, on your mic, that's right in the -10, -12. That is in that area. So, um, that's kind of the way I like to do it. But again, find what works for you. Again, I'm just really talking about the order. You're gonna have to go through and find what settings for your microphone, your room space, your environment works the best. Um, if you're using Elgato Wavelink and you have like a pod mic, not a pod, a Wave XLR, a Wave 3 microphone, I will be having a video come out probably next week or right after this video, going over settings that I would do in that, because Wavelink does their own like filters and you don't have to do much in OBS. So just to recap, noise compressor cleans it first so nothing downstream reacts to the noise. Noise gate or expander silency pauses, either with a hard cutoff or a smooth reduction. Gain boost so the compressor has something to work with. Compressor evens out your microphone dynamics. Limiter catches anything that slips through. It's that simple, guys. So if you have any more questions, please leave them down in the comments. I would be more happy to go deeper into this for you. Or you guys can join the Discord. We have a streamer Discord called Nerd Love, and we do monthly events as well. Links are down in the description as well. If you have any questions, please let me know what they are, and I'd be happy to help you guys out. These are just going over the order, and I tried to get it as simple as I could. Again, thank you guys for your time, and you have a wonderful day.